Honda event and they said, hey, you know, take one of these things for a ride. I'm like, what the heck is this? It looks like a piece of luggage. It is the 2024 Honda Motocompacto. What it is a scooter. It's actually a scooter. So there is a kickstand here. I'll put that out, I'll show you. It's kind of heavy, to be honest with you. I get you to about 40 pounds. The whole concept of this is that you can use the last mile. This is a really interesting device, and they're pretty much, weren't sold out, but if you wanted it for last Christmas when they first showed it, you couldn't even get them. So they're sold at the Honda dealer, so when you go to buy your Prologue, which we've covered on our Car Coach Reports channel, you can buy the scooter. This is actually pretty cool if you're going in the pits, you're going to an event, maybe you don't want to walk that far, a swap meet, whatever. It's certainly an option, especially if you've got limitations. Putting this together, I will admit, is not as easy as it appears. And I gotta show you this because they claim it's super easy, but if it's not understandable super quick by you, they're not gonna be able to sell them as much as they'd like. The price point might surprise you, and we'll cover that at the end, and we're also gonna take it for a ride. So you got a little kickstand here, so I don't have to haul it. And then we wanna get out that rear wheel. So the rear wheel, I'll turn this around so you can see. The rear wheel is here. There's a wheel release. So you pull this out and then you turn it. Again, not as easily said as that releases it, right? So then you can pull out the rear wheel right there. And then you turn this to lock it. Again, not as easily said as done. If you have any limits with strength, you're not gonna be able to do this. That's in. So the wheels release. Now you want to get out the seat and the handlebar. So there is a release here. You push it down. Just like any scooter, this pops up, right? Many people have worked this and it locks into place. And we want to get this up so that you can get the handlebars up. Then you lock it in place. It's just a regular lock, just like any scooter, these foldable scooters. I've covered them before, like the Jet and those kind of things. Now we want this to lock in. There's a safety latch here. Lock that up. Then we want to turn this like that. And there's a latch here. Again, this is all about safety. So that they've got well more than covered. And there's a little bell and throttle. Pretty simple. And it looks good too. Now you need a place to sit. So you got to pull this out. It's a small seat. So if you got a bigger butt, it may not be so comfortable. It locks into place. And then of course there's a safety here, just like you'd lock in like a seat on a spin bike or something like that. Pretty simple, right? And then you got to put this in place, the wide part to the back, because that's the widest of us there. Boom. Now, the fun part. We've had challenges with this. This is where the foot pegs come out. Now it's spring loaded. I can't get it to work. We've talked up there, I got it. I figured it out. Shouldn't be this challenging. You need two hands. So let me turn around and show you the other side. So you need two hands because you have to unload the weight. And there you go. That is the scooter. I know it looks weird, but it looks like a piece of luggage. And the idea is that you can carry it and put it in the back of your vehicle, wherever you need to go someplace. That's the interesting thing. Now, as far as riding it, you sit on it. I know it actually feels weird because I don't have a big butt, but no comments on that. But if you're larger, this is not going to be necessarily so comfortable. So if you're thinking about one of these, sit on one first, just like you would sit in a car. So you got your brakes, your bell, and your throttle. And let's see, how do we turn it on? There's a button on top. Hold that button. It tells you the charge. Right now it's fully charged. So you have to have the kickstand up, safety first, I get it. And there's a 1-speed and a 2-speed. You just press the button in the center and then you just press this little button, give it a little push off, and off you go. So when it comes to charging for this, it's important to note this goes about 15 miles. There's no regenerative brakes, and they did that for a reason because going down a hill, you can overcharge it. Plugging it in the wall is about 3.5 hours. You use a regular wall outlet. If you did that with a car, it'd take like a lot longer, quite a few days. So that's why I level 2 charge it. But if you live in a city like New York or Philly or whatever, and you don't own a car, you can't afford a car, this might be an answer because you can use a backpack, you can stack it in back. If you're gonna put it in a cab and go somewhere, you can put things on top of it so it can support luggage or whatever, golf clubs, whatever it is, and still be able to be your last mile essentially, or last few miles or wherever you're going, giving you that ability to get around. I will tell you that they claim you can put like up to 1,000 pounds. That's a lot on top of it. I hope you wouldn't be doing that anyhow. But as far as I know, there's no weight restriction on this. But again, I'm going to fair warn you, if you have a larger bottom than I do, then this seat may not work. You may have to get an aftermarket seat, but they're going to be selling a lot of aftermarket components at the Honda dealership. So this is not the biggest, most expensive one out there. It's also not the cheapest, but the idea of this is that you can go to a Honda dealer, you can get your parts, get your service, which is nice, and it comes with the wall outlet. And what's really important is it shuts off. A lot of the cheaper ones that you buy, when they get to the full battery charge, they keep going, and that's how you're hearing about those fires. This has a safety in it because Honda's always been about safety. So I was talking to one of the Honda people, and they said the reason it's spaced like this is so your laptop case will fit in here, your water bottle will fit here, and if you got a backpack, it's just another way to carry things. So they really thought about not just the safety of this, and there's all kinds of safety features and safety switches in this, but also who's using it and how you're using it. Pretty cool idea. Other scooter companies aren't thinking like that. Does it work? Sure, it absolutely works. Is it a cool piece? It is the coolest piece. We're gonna take it for another drive up here where we're limited and restricted to areas because that's the rules. But overall, for $995, there are a lot of options. And I think you should take a look at some of the other brands that are out there. And before you make a decision, also see if you can take them for a ride. Because once you order it from Amazon or you go to the Honda dealer and you want the Motocompacto, take it for a spin. Make sure it works for you, for your size, for your balance. This may work, it might not. You can get an actual scooter, you can go up to a Vespa. There's a lot of options. The key of this is that it's available at the Honda dealer, which means if you need parts or service, you can get it there. And the fact that they're gonna deliver them right to the dealer and you can put them right in the back of your brand new car. Some interesting thoughts. I'm curious what you think. If you'd like to support our channel, you can buy me a cup of coffee. The link for that is down below. If you got value from this video, make sure to like and subscribe. All the links, social media, the book, and the podcast are down below. Thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to your comments.